This is starting the outer fabric. I've got my outer print, and then my second, or my first lining, not the pocket. This would be the lining that's cut in the exact same shape. Now these are right sides out, and I need to put everything right sides together in order. So open up my print and put right sides together. I want print on print, and then the same with my lining. I'm going to open them up and flip them back together. So I've got print on print and lining right side to lining right side. And it doesn't matter which way you do that. I've got these right sides together and this right sides together. I'm going to lay my outer on top of my lining. Now, if it doesn't match up, you may want to flip it over. And what I'm saying is go top to bottom. Sometimes when we cut, remember these have been cut at different times, and cut with a rotary cutter, you may have a little disparity. You may have a little bit different. These aren't absolutely exact, but they're very close. The other way up, they didn't quite match, and I had one curving up here. It's just natural, and you will seem to cut that way, especially if you're cutting with a rotary cutter. But once you have them lined up, and this is your top, let's say, it doesn't matter if you sew this way or this way, as long as you keep your groups together, lining and lining, outer and outer. So I'm going to sew this way, just because it's the way I have it now. And make sure the edges are fairly close, and I just hold it. The fabric sticks together fairly well. It's a similar shape. It's not a long course to sew. And you can always adjust it a little at the bottom. That's what I'm doing. Make sure I'm good, but it's a lot quicker than pinning the whole thing. So we can see here we've got our nice sewn line. We're going to trim our threads, put it down to do that. And I will show you again the cutting straight across. You point up, and this will be, it'll be perpendicular to your end, the side part of the face mask. I'm going to cut right here, but I'm not going to cut through the stitching. I'm just going to cut here. Well, it'd be good if I was using my good scissors. And I find it makes it easier to attach the binding. Okay, so what I'm going to do on both my pocket piece and my outer plus lining is I'm going to trim them mostly in the center, and I'll show you what I mean. I need a little bit of this fabric on the seam to pin it, keep it in place, and also know which direction it's going. But I find if you leave this, it's hard to turn, it bunches, and it makes it quite thick. So I'll show you on both. I'll hold it down here so hopefully you can see. I'm going to start about an inch, inch and a half from the bottom. I'm trimmed to about 1/8 of an inch. You don't need to go too close, but you're just trying to reduce some of that bulk. And then I'm going to come back out about 1 inch from the end. That gives me this to pin with. Okay, I'll do the same thing here. You really want to start where that deep curve is. Clipping a curve is the easiest way to make it turn and not bunch. And come straight out of it. All right. There we go. So, we've got that. Now what you have, pull your lining apart and your outer apart. you have this nice seamless pocket lining. So we're going to jump on the serger next. Okay, moved over 1 foot to show you serging. So I've just shown you. We've just sewn this and turned it. And this is basically what the mask looks like. You all know that? Right. But it does have some shape now that you've got that seam sewn. So what you want to do is take one end and pull it apart and tuck this end. You can keep them together. Keep this together. Tuck that end in. And then you will have the ends that had been touching right sides together again. I'm going to do it one more time because it is a little confusing sometimes. So put the mask as it would be when it's finished. Okay, your right side. Doesn't matter which side is up. You're going to pull apart these ends that sit together. Just pick one side. Pull these apart. Tuck the rest of the mask in. Put those sides right side together. I'm going to serge these. Okay, so we've serged those. Don't need quite that much on the end. You can leave some tails because they will come off again when we put the bands on, and that way you have them nice and secure. So I've done that. Just reach inside. You're going to pop the mask back out. So this is the side we have just sewn, and this is the side that's open. So now we're going to take the side that's open, do the same thing. We're going to split it apart and tuck the rest in. There you go. And we've got right sides together. Line them up and serge them. Doesn't matter which fabric is on top or which direction you go. There we go, and we will pop this back out. Okay, and you've got that side finished and this side finished. I'm going to roll them and pop over to my iron. Okay, we have just closed the ends of the outer mask. Just going to roll them and iron the end. We can go right up into the curve on one side and roll the end. This helps keep everything in place when you go to attach the bands and then top stitch. So got our nice ends. And if you need to, this one's puckering just a little. I'm going to give this seam a little press on both sides. Keep that seam open. There we go. Back to the sewing machine.